Well, we appreciate everyone coming here today to learn about a new little toy for Polaris. I guess you could say toy. I mean, it's social networking, so it's one of those things that it's not a necessity, but it's a necessity. And if any of you have attended our recent webinars, one thing that you will have discovered, we did a couple on social media, and what we discovered is that accessibility doesn't necessarily equal efficiency. There are several apps that are accessible for Android, and there are two Twitter apps that I would say they definitely meet the accessibility requirements. However, as we showed you, there are workarounds. You can work with it, but it's not efficient and it's not all that easy to use. And the main reason for this is that all of the controls are on the screen. And so we have, fortunately, we are working with a partner in the Middle East, and they actually developed a Twitter app. It was originally going to be for their region, and I happened to see an email that referenced it, and I went, wait a minute. I want a piece of that. So I said, will you let me test it? And of course they did. And Mr. Ali, who is here as well, is an extraordinary developer, and he's been working with Netic for something like 13 years. If I got that wrong, I'm sorry, but it's been a while. And he is an excellent Braille Sense user, although he is sighted. He understands what kind of interfaces work, and you'll see that when I demo this app. So we are really, really privileged to be able to bring this to you and to share it with you, because we think that it does enhance what your Polaris is able to do, especially if you are a Twitter user. So the first thing I want to do, because Netic is a relatively unknown internationally, although they have been in business for a very long time, I would like to have Mr. Auda Hazim, who is the CEO and founder of Netic Technologies, tell you a little bit about himself and Netic and how they came to be here. So go ahead, Auda.
Thank you, Jenny. I'm really very pleased to be here, and thanks for the opportunity. It's great to meet many of you and to basically discuss who we are and what we're doing. I started this company in Colorado Springs, actually Manitou Springs, Colorado, a small little town. Basically, when I started the company, I helped a gentleman. I was building custom-built laptops, and I helped a gentleman install JAWS in his laptop that I built for him. And I was very intrigued, and I thought, what would it take to do something for the blind Middle Eastern people, since that's my background, lived in the United States for a long time. So in 2002, I established Netic Technologies and moved it out to Dubai because we wanted to serve blind Arabic-speaking individuals. A long story, but I'll get into what makes us so different. We've been in business for a long time, since 2002 up to here, up to now. And we basically have been distributing adaptive technology equipment, programs, and hardware to blind Arabs for a long time, and we forged some strategic alliances with industry leaders such as HIMSS, who've been distributing HIMSS products, helped localize the Braille Sense products, the Braille Sense Plus and the U2 and now the Polaris. And basically 2 years ago, we have decided that we want to have the natural progression, which is build on our expertise in the field to develop some unique products, not only for the people we serve in the Middle East, but internationally. So two years ago, we launched our first product, which was a reading document. It's like a desktop scanner or scanning solution to read the documents, and we had a portable version And then we had a screenless laptop with built-in Braille display, which is Windows-based. We rolled that out, and then what makes us unique is how close we are to our customers. In several instances, I heard some of our customers wishing that we would develop a Twitter client for the Polaris. And sure enough, mentioned that to my developers, and Ali here, very sharp developer, picked up on it. In a matter of a couple of weeks, he had a prototype for us to play with, and that's when Jenny heard about it, and she was like, wow, let's just take a look at that, and maybe you can offer it internationally, and that's what we're doing. Maybe I'm excited about the Mo tweet, that application, but what I'm more excited about is the future and our ability to listen to your needs and desires, basically, and develop that into actual products. And one of the main reasons Ali and I are here today is to hear from you. Maybe you can tell us what is your priorities, what do you want us to develop as applications. So that's basically who we are. And I don't want to go on, and I know everybody's time is limited. We will, of course, stick around and take some questions. And again, thank you for the opportunity. I'm excited about learning how you perceive this product and how useful it is for you, and learning about what do you want? How can we accommodate your needs? What makes us different is, again, from the time of an idea to a prototype, we're talking about a short period of time. And that is our muscle that we're flexing compared to the big guys. Again, thank you, and I'll take your questions afterward, and Ali also.
All right. And as it happens, I am actually, I've been involved with Netic for a while as related to Selvis and hymns, but I've also been a little bit involved in some of their projects. And as it happens, I am using one of the first screenless PCs that he built. It's actually, it doesn't have a Braille display in it yet. This concept sort of developed over a couple of years and was going to be a mobile thing, and then it became a desktop using a NUC board, and now it's becoming a Braille thing. And so again, we're sort of, but I actually, one of the first ones, I think it might be the first one he built, he actually built for me. And as I was going through the specifications, I kept talking about Jenny book. I just kind of was jokingly referring to that. So now it actually has a nameplate on it that says Jenny book. So I am actually using the Jenny book right now. It is my webinar PC because it is a desktop with a keyboard on it. It's really a very small footprint, and it works perfectly for this because I do sort of need the power of a desktop, but a small thing. So they're very much into innovation and trying to meet your individual needs, and as they're working on many different projects, software and hardware, so it will be very, very interesting to see what it is that they come up with. But it's been really fun to sort of watch things happen and watch everything develop and to be part of that. So anyway, moving on, you guys actually want to know what this whole app is about, right? So let's go there. So I'm going to actually go to my main menu, File Manager, F. And of course, everybody's familiar with that prompt. So what happens when you install this app? I'm not going to actually go through the installation process. There are instructions on how to do that. And of course, we're willing to help you if you need to. It will be an APK installation. So basically an app installation that you'll do from the file manager. Once it's done, you'll reboot your unit. And for those of you who had a U2 or do have a U2, this will be familiar to you. There is now a new menu items, a menu item between extras and utilities called programs. You can open this with the letter R because P is used for tweet. Play Store. And the only item right now in there is MoTweet. So I'm just going to press enter.
Loading. Loading. The Verge. Sling TV promises not to raise prices on customers like everyone else is doing. HTTPS. TCOEORRZPT5.
Okay, so what I have here is just a simple list of my Twitter feed items. This is extremely clean, extremely uncluttered. In fact, it's even more uncluttered than the YouTube app, if that's even believable, but it is. This is nothing but a straight list. There's nothing in the tab order. So all you can do is do space 1 and space 4.
Joe Steinkamp, 5G was going to unite the world. Instead, it's tearing us apart. HTTPS. The Verge. Why modern chemistry still needs glassblower. HTTP. Andre Lewis. RTONJ Music. Retrofiles. Think of the future. Cortex 5DR. HTTP. The Verge. 1.
So all I'm doing is pressing space 4 and I'm just going down the list. And so again, it's very, very simple. There is nothing to get in your way of viewing your Twitter feed, nothing to confuse you. That doesn't, however, mean that it's not powerful. So let's go into what you can do with this. So from your newsfeed, there are 3 things that you can do, 3 main things, which can lead to other things and et cetera, et cetera. So the first thing that you can do is get information.
Tweet information dialog. Created at Sunday, July 5th, 23, 1905 2020. Retweet, 18 favorite, 192 static box.
Okay, so that basically, and I did that with space I, and what that tells you is when it was created, how many times it's been favorited or retweeted. Okay, I'm gonna press F4 to return to my timeline.
The Verge. OneDrive is getting a new dark.
Okay, and I just stopped speech. The other thing that you can do, and this is what you're gonna be most interested in probably, is if you press enter, you have all of the controls that you're wondering where they are. Well, they're here. You don't have to see them when you don't need them. So we press enter here.
Loading. OneDrive is getting a new dark mode and 100 gigabytes file upload limit for businesses. HTTPS, T-code 4 HTTPS, T-code 3
Okay, so it's giving me all this information. Now I do have a tab order. So it read the entire tweet. That's the first thing that you see. Now if I press F3,
show hashtags button.
if there are any hashtags, you can see a list of them. There aren't here. Once you press enter on the hashtags, when you see the list of hashtags, you can press enter on one of those, and it will actually give you all the tweets related to that hashtag. Like I said, functions within functions.
Open link in web browser button.
I can open a link in the web browser, and they are using a custom browser, so it does load pretty fast. It's pretty accessible.
Like 192 button.
Sorry, then there's the likes.
Retweet, 18 button.
And the likes and the retweets. Sorry, I'm getting computer audio, so it interrupted me and confused me a little bit. So what this does, again, it gives you the number of likes and the number of retweets, but you can also press enter on it to like it or retweet it. That's why it's a button.
Show user timeline, Verge button.
You can get the user timeline of the user of the current tweet.
Open current user profile, Verge button.
You can go to the profile of the current user.
Tweet your reply multi-line edit box.
And of course, you can reply to it.
Reply button. There are 4 replies, 1 5 list item.
And now you can actually see the rest of the conversation here. So now I'm in a list of all the current replies. And again, I can press space 4.
233 join tap, 233 join tap, Verge, Monday, July 6th, 00:53, 31 2022 5 list item. Say Iogen, Push Pack Nikos, Verge dark mode should be mandatory on every app and websites in 2020 Google, Sunday, July 5th, 23, 54, 2023 5 list item.
Okay, so of course you're getting all the time and date stamps and everything. That's what's going on here. But these are just the replies to the current tweet. So again, it's just a very easy way to view the conversation. Again, I'm going to press F4 to go back to my timeline.
The Verge, OneDrive is getting a new dark mode and 100.
Okay, and I'll stop speech. So the other thing that you can do, of course, is go to the menus. And these, again, look very Polaris-ish, very Braille sense-ish. So I will press F2 as we would normally do.
File, pull down menu.
And we have the file menu. I'll press enter here.
New tweet, T, enter T menu item.
So this is where you could start a new tweet. And as you can hear, just like with all the other Braille Sense apps that you're used to using, we do have shortcuts and we have hotkeys, and they are shown exactly the same way and implemented the same way. So of course, the T would be from the menu itself and the Enter T is from anywhere in the program. So of course, I'm going through all of this manually to show you what's here, but everything is available via shortcuts. I'll move down.
New direct message, N, enter N menu item.
New direct message.
Refresh, R, enter R menu item.
That will refresh any timeline or list that you're viewing.
My profile, P, enter P menu item.
You can see your profile.
Logout, L, enter L menu item.
Logout.
About, menu item.
About the app.
Exit, Z, space Z menu item.
And exit. Okay, I'm going to go back up to my profile since
About,
we are.
Logout, L, my profile, P, enter P menu item.
And I'll press enter.
Loading. Full name, Jenny Axler.
So this shows all the information about me.
Screen name, Jaxler static box. Bio, someone forget to tell me you're not supposed to be both a girl and a geek, but even if someone had remembered, I'd still be both anyway static box. Location, Daein, Korea static box. Joined, Wednesday, September 24th, 05, 03, 30, 2008 static box.
Okay, so I'm just pressing F3, FYI, to get through all of this information. So again, it's all tab order.
Followers, 149 static box. Show follower list button. Following, 46 static box. Show following list button.
So I could press enter here, and I'm going to do
Loading.
that.
Auda Hazim, Sunday, June 5th, 22, 51, 26.
So now I'm seeing the people that I'm following. And again, this is just a list. Now, if I want to, I can actually press enter on Auda and go to his profile.
Loading. Full name, Auda Hazim.
And I can see the same thing, and I can see his followers and following. And so again, you can go within a profile. And what's interesting about this is that now you are in several levels and you have a couple of options for getting out. So you could just press F4 and F4 and F4. So if you're looking and you get into information within information and you actually do want to follow your path out, you can do that, but you can also use the shortcuts. So I'm actually just going to press Enter H to reload my home timeline. So it's very flexible that way. If you need to do that, you can, but you don't have to. You can jump.
Loading. The Verge, Sling TV promises.
So there again, now there's my home timeline. Okay, and we didn't actually look at that yet. So let me
File, pull down menu.
go back into the menu.
Timelines, pull down menu.
And here's the timelines menu.
Home timeline, H, enter H menu item.
And there's the hotkey that I just used. We'll keep going down.
My timeline, U, enter U menu item.
And that's my user timeline.
Likes timeline, I, enter I menu item.
Likes timeline.
Mention timeline, M, enter M menu item. Daily trend, T, backspace T menu item.
Okay, this is interesting, and I'm actually going to go into here to show you this. So if I press enter on daily trends,
Canada CA combo box.
I have a list of countries, so you can actually view the daily trends by country. So I can use first letter navigation here.
United Kingdom GB, United Kingdom, Ukraine UA combo box. Ukraine UA, United Arab Emirates 8, United Arab, United States US combo box.
So there would be the timelines, or excuse me, the daily trends for the US. And again, I can press enter and, oh, sorry.
143 list.
I don't have to press enter, I press tab, excuse me. So now here it is in a list. I can see this, and again, space 1 and space 4. I always have to remember those little status cells on the side. They tell you what to do. Okay, so I'm gonna press F4.
The Verge, Sling TV prompt.
And I'm back to my home timeline again. The one thing that's not in the menus that you can also do is you can use space U to open the user timeline. So if I wanted to load the Verge's timeline, because that's the user of the current tweet, I can do that with space U also. So one other quick
File,
thing.
pull down timeline, search, pull down menu.
Let's go to search.
Search in Twitter, F, space F menu item.
Okay, so there are two items here. There's search in Twitter.
Search for user, Y, space Y menu item.
And there's search for user. So if you search in Twitter is,
search in Twitter, F.
We'll do that
search
first.
in Twitter dialog. Enter text to search edit box.
So if you would like to search in Twitter, one of the easiest ways to find things, especially on a specific topic, is to use hashtags. So you can actually do that here. You press space 456 plus followed by, 1456. And then you can type what it is that you're searching for. So let's just do ACB 2020 and we'll press enter.
Loading. Lino Morales, Lino Enrico, I'm ready for day 3 of the Vitrol ACB National Convention, ACB 2020, Monday, July 6th, 54, 32, 2021, 18 list item.
I think that was supposed to be virtual, not vitral.
Budgie Child 5820. I thought the open session was on tonight. I guess not due to the holiday ACB 2020. Sunday, July 5th, 08, 44, 57, 2022, 18 list item.
So again, I'm seeing everything that has the hashtag ACB 2020. So that's one very quick way to follow a conversation about a specific topic like that.
Loading. The Verge, Sling TV.
And again, I just went back to my home timeline with F4. That's always my starting point. I like to do that. So again, we'll go back to the search menu.
File, timeline, search, pull down menu, search for search in Twitter, F, space F menu item.
Sorry,
search for user, Y, search in Twitter dialog. Enter text to search computer edit box.
So again, you can do a couple of things here. You can actually search for the Twitter username using the @ sign, and it does actually open a computer braille edit box. So just be aware of that it is in computer braille. And that's so you can actually type the @ sign, and that, like, for me, you could type @Jaxler, but you can also use my name. So I will type
uppercase,
Jenny Axler, and I will press enter.
Loading. Jaxler, Wednesday, September 24th, 05, 03, 30, 2008. Followers, 149. Following, 4612 list item.
Okay, and again, if I wanted to get the full user profile, I can press enter from here and get that. There are actually 2 of me.
Jenny Axler, Tuesday, August 20th, 05, 39, 20, 2013. Followers, 2. Following, 122 list item.
I actually set that up as a test account and totally forgot about it until I was practicing for this. But so yeah, I might want to get rid of that. So yes, there are 2 of me, but I only use 1 account. So again, that is searching. So again, let's explore a little bit about what's left in the menus, and we'll wrap things up here.
File, pull down menu. Timeline, search, settings, S, enter S menu item.
So the settings allow you to customize things just a bit. So I'll press enter here.
Settings dialog. Show nickname checkbox unchecked.
So you have the option when you are viewing your Twitter feed to show the nickname.
Show real name checkbox checked.
Show the real name. And if you don't check either of these boxes, it won't show anything. By default, when the application first opens, it will show you both, but you can turn it off. And some people do prefer to see the Twitter handle. Some people prefer to see the real name. Some people prefer to see both, so you can do that.
Use enter key to send tweet checkbox checked.
So now we have this option to use enter key to send a tweet. And what this does is if you have this unchecked, you can use enter to create a multi-lined tweet. But if you don't, and most people are probably, at least in the United States, probably aren't going to have that, when you don't have to necessarily go to the tweet button and press OK. You can just press enter when you're finished typing, and that will work. So again, I will get out.
Jenny Axler, Tuesday, August 20th, 05, 39, 20.
And where it took me was back to the list of my search results, because that's where I last was. So it returned to me to my former position. One thing we did not show is going to direct messages. That is actually in the timelines menu. I'll show you how to find it.
File,
there is a
pull
shortcut.
Down, timelines, pull down menu. Home timeline, likes, mention, daily, direct messages, G, enter G menu item.
So we didn't actually go there before. So let's press enter
Loading.
quick on that.
2, Ada Hazim, Wada Hazim.
Okay, so it shows me
From, Ada Hazim. From, Joe Steinkamp, Ranger State.
It shows me all my different conversations. And if I want to see the entire conversation, I can actually just press enter on it and I can view. So what you get when you go to direct messages is a list of the conversations that you've had in the last 30 days. However, you can, if you need to see the entire conversation, a specific, and you want to see all the messages that you guys sent back and forth, you can press enter and view that. So that's basically, a thing to remember. If you want more information for just about anything, press enter on it, and it will get you further into the information that you're looking for. The final thing is, of course, there is a help menu, and it shows you the shortcut list. You can also press space H, as you can in any Braille Sense application.
Twitter for Polaris shortcuts dialog. New tweet, enter T
And
step.
he's changed that. It does say Mo tweet shortcuts now. Sorry about that.
New direct message, enter N stat. Refresh timeline, enter R static box. My profile, enter P static box.
So again, I'm just pressing space 4 to go down this list. So everything is, again, once you memorize the shortcuts, you can do everything very quickly. As you can tell, the app is very responsive. And you can, again, go in and out of several levels of information. But what's nice about it is that you don't see anything other than what you're looking at right now. You don't have all these controls for every tweet that you have to go through in order to see your Twitter feed. You don't see just 2 or 3 on a page because of all those controls. You have a list of 200 items as soon as you open it, and you just press space 1 and space 4 to deal with it. And for
From
me,
Joe Steinkamp. Loading.
again, I'm going back to my home timeline.
The Verge. Sleep.
For me, that is the most important thing. I generally use Twitter for looking at news and things like that, and I don't want to waste my time. If it's too difficult, I'm probably not going to do it. So this is what I really love about this, is that it brings everything to me very instantly. And maybe I'm just selfish with my time, I don't know, but I really appreciate that. So, and it does it in a very not only accessible, but very efficient way. But yet it doesn't skimp on features. It gives you, everything that you need to have in a Twitter application. And of course, they will continue to enhance it, I'm sure, as people ask for different features, or, Twitter changes things, et cetera, et cetera. So the next thing that I would like to do is actually turn it over to Ali. First of all, he's probably going to be the one to answer most of your questions. Not all of them probably, but a lot of them. But I would like him to talk a little bit about what they're thinking about doing in future, and just anything that he would like to say. So go to it, Mr. Ali. Thomas, you may have to unmute him. I don't know if you did.
Hello?
Yep, you're there.
Yeah, are you hearing me? Hi, everyone. First of all, thank you for having me here. And thank you, Jenny, for that awesome demo. Actually, as Jenny said, we were trying to make the product as simple as possible. And there is more extra feature that is coming in future that include simplifying some of the steps that we are doing right now. For example, if I need to retweet one of the tweets from the timeline or from any of users' timeline, I can do a shortcut to do that as fast as possible. For now, we are doing from inside the tweet, and we get some feedback from users saying that let's make it as simple as possible through the shortcuts. So in future, we are going to see more of shortcuts for current procedure that we are doing to make it very fast and easy and sufficient. And actually, we start doing that in this version by sending a direct message to any of the users, or current user that I'm searching for, or I'm watching or reading his tweet. For example, if I need to send a direct message to the verge, that the current user in the first tweet, I can press a shortcut to do that one, and it will open a box to enter your text and send that one. In addition to that one, we also trying to improve the direct messages, because we get many feedbacks from users saying that we are using the direct messages. So as soon as get the full list of requirements, we will do that in next versions. Yeah, this is actually some of our plan for the future. And most important, as Mr. Oda said in the beginning, we are going to listen from you as much as we can, and we trying to make it more simple, more user-friendly, and above that, we'll offer a feature for on and off. The settings menu now has only 3 items, but in future, it will be growing up. For example, the enter to send a tweet is required by some people, but other people, even in our area, saying that, no, we love to have enter key to send the tweet directly. So if we offer both of them, who need the enter directly, he can enable it from settings. And if you don't like that one, he can put it off. So the settings menu or settings options will get increased by time. Yeah, this is some of point that we will highlight it in future, and we are happy to listen to your feedback and input, and any questions. We are here to answer it.
And
Back
you
to you,
will
Jen.
be developing other apps, right?
Yes, we have some of apps in pipelines, and we'll just waiting for some last finishing steps. And we see that many of our users are interested in social media apps, and the original apps or native apps that come from social media companies are not that rich in accessibility.
No,
So
they're
we said,
accessible, but they're not efficient. That's what
but
we
yes,
discovered. They're very difficult to use.
and it has
So
a lot
yes.
of feature. I was using Twitter in my iPhone, and I see how difficult it is to go from one tweet to another, through that back and forth.
Yes, and it makes sense for sighted people to have the controls on the screen. It does. But for us, it really doesn't. It's not that it's not accessible, but it is very difficult for us, and it's not efficient. It takes longer. And so that's what we try to do in Braille Sense in general with our applications, and that's what Netic is actually doing, you know, with Twitter and with the things that they will develop in future as well. So it's really exciting because, of course, Selvis doesn't have time to create everything, and our goal is always to make sure that we provide things that are not available somewhere else. So unfortunately for us and for you and even me, what that means is that we don't do social media because there are accessible apps. But that doesn't, again, mean that they're all that pleasant to use. So we are really excited that Netic has sort of stepped in and filled this gap that we are not able to. And, you know, they're able to offer, and you know, again, even I appreciate it. I have been testing this for a while and I love this app. It's great. It saves me time. It makes social media much, much less frustrating for me. So I look forward to seeing what they're going to do next. So I think now we can open it up for questions, Thomas. So if you want to open the room, that'll be great. I think that
Awesome.
everyone will need to unmute yourselves, right? Is that right?
Yeah. So let's see. So we've got a couple hands up, actually.
We could do it. Shall we do it in a controlled way? We can.
Yeah, let's do it a little bit controlled and then open it up, I think. All right. So person with phone number ending in 0960, go ahead and talk.
Oh, hi, it's Byron. Simple question. So how do we go about getting this fine program? I'm very impressed.
Yeah, we should have talked about that. Outer, do you want to take that?
Well, you're better than me, but I'm just going to talk about the financial end of it, and let Ali tell him how to get the system or the application. There's a cost to it. It's $15, and there's a PayPal account that we can pass, so you can make the payment. And Ali, you want to speak about the process of getting the software?
And that
Yeah.
is 15, not 50. Just I wasn't sure if it was entirely understandable. But yeah, and I really should have mentioned that you can try it for 7 days before you purchase, so you don't have to take the risk either. So go ahead, Ali.
Yes.
Is it in the Play Store?
Actually, right,
It's not in the
not
Play Store.
from Play Store. We are distributing it through the APK. We can pass the link for you, so you can download the APK and install it manually from the file manager. And after you install it and log into your Twitter account, it will give you, as Jenny just mentioned, 6 days demo. So during these 6 days, you have full control, full features of the app. And once you are happy with that one and you need to get a full purchase, you can contact us through the email. It is in the About menu. You will find that email for contacting us, or we can also share it through the link of application in our website, or whatever that convenient for you.
So if you visit natic.com, which is NATTIQ.com, the MoTweet application is the first heading on there, and it will come up in English. They have an Arabic site, but it's smart enough to know. It's one of those smart sites that knows that if you're not in the Middle East, you probably want English, so it gives you that automatically. And the first heading there is MoTweet. So if you click on that, you will get the download link and the information about MoTweet, et cetera, et cetera. And I assume you guys will put the documentation up there also. That would be
Sure.
good, I think. Yeah. So that's how you get it, as far as you can do that immediately and, download it and try it. So it's very easy to do. And then you follow the process that he described.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. All right. Up next, we have Terry. Go ahead, Terry.
Thank you. I am very, very fascinated by your work, Mr. Hussing. And do you have any plans to continue work on the Jenny book and possibly to make it available internationally? Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for this kind words. We're humbled by the whole experience. As a matter of fact, yes. What we did, I was supposed to go to CSUN, and I canceled the last minute. We were supposed to show our Netic note in their booth, and they actually did show the beefed up system, which is the i7, Core i7 based unit. And we got lots of feedback. Everybody loved the power, they loved the design,
Yeah.
but they commented on the height of the system. So if you need a Core i7, Core i5 or higher, you have to live with that height for right now. But if you need a Core i3 or an M3 based processor, we can have a thinner system. So we went back to the drawing board. Now we have pretty much sourced out a nicer or a thinner motherboard. And I think within the next couple of months, we will have another system rolling out. So yes, we are very encouraged by the overall feedback, and that's what it's all about. It's just getting the feedback and seeing what your requirements and needs are, and translating that into actual products. Usually this takes years with some of the bigger players, but us with our size, we're very flexible. We have very intelligent people work for me. They're very motivated, and we sit down, we talk about ideas, and usually within weeks we have a prototype, which is very amazing. So I'm sure that you will see, we have 2 or 3 things coming in the pipeline pretty soon, and they're very impressive, and you will hear about them. So thank you for allowing us to speak to you, because this is what we really like, and you tell us what basically your needs are, and we're very anxious to translate this into products.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Great. Thank you, Terry. All right. So I don't see any other hands up. I'm just going to go ahead and ask everyone to unmute. So now everyone should be able to unmute themselves, and let's just go ahead and open it up to general questions.
Hi there. I was just wondering, do you have an accessible version of Facebook on the Polaris? Because I find Facebook's not easy to use on my current phone.
We don't currently. I was waiting to see if Netic wanted to chime in on that.
Well, that's basically what I would like to see next, and And Ali is a bit more preserved when it comes to, maybe I can spill the beans. We've started on the development.
Oh, that's lovely.
And,
But I want to
and
see next too. I don't even use Facebook, and my family really hates that.
the bottlenecks the bottleneck is coming from Facebook itself, because there are some bureaucracies you have to go through. But once they give us the what we need, basically, we're gonna go full thrust, full speed,
Wow.
and you know it can happen. So is this what everybody is
Yes, absolutely. We need this.
Yes, we do. This is Terry. May I ask if you have an announce email list where you let people know what your newest products are?
That's great. Yes, as a matter of fact, we have started. You know, we can pass the. Actually, yes.
Do you have one in English?
Actually, it's yes. We have it in English, and I don't know, Jenny. Can we pass such information to you, and you pass it to everybody else? Because we need a few more.
I can, and they do also post on Twitter right now. I think that's probably the most consistent way. And Auda, he's usually the one to post in English, so that's one way if you want to immediately, you know, find out what's going on. He usually posts things there, and he has posted about MoTweet, etc. But yeah, I can certainly distribute the information if you give it to me.
But I do encourage you to be in touch, because when we get something out and we don't hear from people about it, it's like, does somebody care? You know, Jenny has been one of our champions. Basically, she's just cheering for us and pushing us to say, oh, people need this. You should continue working on that. And she told us about Facebook to be next, to be quite honest. And when we checked, everybody agreed.
This is John. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question. I was just curious. When you go into the timeline,
right?
And I'm hearing a voice.
Hang on a second. Okay, I'm very sorry to stop you, but if you're actually not speaking and you're speaking to other people, it's coming through on the. It's coming through the public room. So if you could mute yourself if you need to actually make noise in the background, that would really help us out. Thank you so much. Okay, go ahead, John.
First, I'm not a big Twitter user, but this sounds like something that would use to start becoming more of a Twitter user. But I'm just curious, when you go into your timeline and you basically use the space 4 to arrow down, is there a way, or have you thought about having a way of say, searching for particular strings or something in there that you could narrow down rather than just arrowing down through the whole list of names?
Okay,
is there a way?
Sure. So let me explain how this works. So what it is, it's actually showing you your home timeline. So it's the people that you choose to follow. So first of all, it isn't actually everybody in the world. So don't worry about that. You do have some control because you choose who to follow, and you actually only see the people that you follow in your feed. But it is also possible then to do a search, and we did show that you can search by user or you can search by text, and you can actually get tweets related to a specific topic. So yeah, that's already possible within the app.
Okay, but you don't do it at that point. You do it at a different place. You go into your menu, or you do your shortcut keys to get to that search that's in that list.
Yeah, you can just press space F. Do you
okay.
mean, within the...
Yeah, because you're in the timeline now. You've hit entered on something. Now you're in a list of I guess your timelines or a list of anything. Because in a few places you've had where you have arrowed down to go through the lists of things. So I was just wondering if there was a way to either filter so you only see certain things, or just like I look at the video description type stuff, but I have other things in there too. that get in my list of timeline, I guess. So if I only want to see the description video, is there a way of just sort of filtering it out so I only see
Yes.
those? Oh,
Yes,
okay.
you can press space U from the, so if you find a tweet by that user, if you press space U, it'll load only the tweets from that user. So
From
yes,
them.
you can do that. Yeah.
Ah, great. Okay, excellent. Thank you.
All right, anyone else have questions? Surely you have no questions? I know you're here. Apparently she doesn't today.
This is John again. I do have one more question. Okay,
Sure.
So if we go to the website and get the down link, is there going to be just instructions of how to, use that the APK approach to get things onto our Polaris?
Yes, there are instructions, and I think I actually did write some up, and of course our tech support also knows and has some instructions, but I created some documentation for this and I included that in there, an installation guide. So they should be posting that on their website with the MoTweet information, and you should be able to get that
okay, great. Thanks.
At the same time as you get the download.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Thank you. I got unmuted. Building on John's question, would first letter navigation be a possibility in some of the, like the Twitter lists?
I asked that question to Ali. Did you figure that out, Mr. Ali? Oh, where did he go?
He has to unmute himself.
Ah.
Ali, are you there?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, hello?
Wait, there he is. Yep. So what about first letter nav? We were talking about first letter nav. She asked about that, whether that's a possibility. And I know he's working with our developers here to figure out how to do that. So I think that we're definitely going to try to get that done.
Exactly. This is a thing that I'm working on it right now. Just I need to get some information from the SDK how to do that, and it is available in Polaris. So if it is available in Polaris, we can borrow it and do it in our application as well. We can do it in profile, in a list, whatever that is easy for user to use.
Thank you.
So Jenny, I have a question for you.
Sure. Yep.
I will be a brand new Twitter user because Twitter is just beyond my comprehension. Like, I just don't get it at all. So as a brand new user, is there a feature that allows me to just browse and see what my options are?
Not
or
in
do
this
I sort
app
of need to
have an idea. Not
have
in
an
the
idea
app,
of what I'm
but
doing?
if you go on the Twitter website, when you sign up for your profile, yes, there are. So you probably will immediately want to deal with that on the Twitter website, which is pretty accessible. It's not, to be honest, it's easier to use than most Android apps. Just go, especially if you use the mobile.twitter.com, or I think it's m.twitter.com. It's not bad. So yeah, you're gonna find that as soon as you sign up, they're going to give you recommendations. You're gonna be able to browse, and from there you can browse to others. You'll also find that you might get recommendations when you do start following some people. You can also do Google searches. I've found a lot of people that way, just that if I want to find someone, for example, like if you were looking for me, you could type in Google Jenny Axler on Twitter, and it's generally going to come up with my username, and you'll be able to deal with it that way too. So that's another way to do it.
Okay. Jenny, thank you.
Yep. See, I knew
Can
you'd
you hear
chime
me?
in. We can.
Yeah, we can hear you. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't get in before. I muted myself, and then it wouldn't let me unmute myself. So
Totally
it was
understand.
weird. Anyway, my question is this. I have a unit right now that is not mine, a Polaris. If I install this or purchase it on this unit, would I have to repurchase it again if I want to install it on another unit, or would I have a license or a purchase that would allow me to, transfer it from one unit to another? Or do I need to wait until I get my personal unit back?
In your case,
so I don't
because
have to
you
purchase
do,
it twice.
right, you do have a loaner unit, I know that, so it's going to be short term. So in your case, yes, I would wait. It's tied to your MAC address, the MAC address of your unit.
Okay,
And I think
that's what I wondered.
they may, work with you as far as doing multiple units, but in your case, because it's not a multiple unit situation, it's just a loaner unit, I would say go ahead and do the trial. You can. You'll get the 6 days regardless. So you can actually try it, and then when you get your unit back, the one that you actually own, you'll get actually the 6 days on that one as well. But yeah, I would
okay.
wait. I would wait to purchase it until you have your personal unit back.
Okay, but you guys will help with the initial installation, correct? If I even want to do it like this week when you're in the room or something?
Sure.
Here?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, because
Okay.
it's the installation of APKs is a general support issue, so it's not necessarily tied to MoTweet. It's something that you could do for several applications.
Right.
So yeah,
Right.
we
Okay.
would support that process, and of course we'll help you while we're here. So no problem at all.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much. I really look forward to it, and I would be very interested in also hearing more about this Braille computer. I know this isn't for now, but if they're going to be doing more with the computer, with the Braille display, I'm very interested in an item of that type.
That's good for them to know. So it's totally fine that you comment on that.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right. Any additional questions?
Yes.
Oh, go for it.
Okay, thank you. Byron here. Downloaded the app and tried to open it, and it says install blocked. For security reasons, we can't download things from unknown sources.
Right, because you have to follow the instructions that you haven't yet read. You need to go to Android system settings. Oh, sorry, the computer's interrupting me as people are joining and leaving. So you need to go to Android system settings, and under security, there is an option that says allow apps from unknown sources. You need to check that, and it'll give you a little warning, and you'll have to say okay. But once you've done that, you'll be able to install it with no problem.
Okay, and you said go to Android settings.
Yep, and security, under security.
Okay.
The same
so Android settings, then security, and then
allow apps from unknown sources.
Okay. I think I can figure that out.
Okay.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the presentation. And thank Netic for what sounds like an absolutely fabulous program that, like, I've been dreaming about ever since we lost Twitter. And didn't know it.
Well, great. We're glad you came.
So Jenny, this is Robert. I have a quick question. When I go to the website on the Mac, it appears to be in Arabic. Is there anything I can do about that?
Oh, I don't know. It works fine in Windows and on the Polaris even. But on the Mac, it comes up in Arabic?
If I comment on that one?
Yes.
Hello? Yes. These 2 days we had some small maintenance on our website, but if that happened with you, you can just type /en and it will open the English for you.
Netic.com/en.
Yeah, Netic.com /en for English.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. All right.
Anyone else have any
I'm excited
questions?
about this app. Looking forward to trying it. I'm going to go get it right now.
Awesome. Okay. Any additional questions? We've definitely gone over our 30 minutes, but that's totally okay. We are fine. It's just our open public space. So we got someone else. Do you have a question? Apparently not, just not muted. Okay, so we will call this the official end.
I see a hand.
Oh, is there okay. Thomas, are you?
Terry, did you have another question? I think your hand's raised.
I did.
Go for it.
I just have to say how excited and delighted I am to learn about your company, because you are doing things that are so important. I have dreaded Twitter all my life and have never used it, and I'm about to purchase this app and install it and become a Twitter user. So thank you so much, and please keep the English market in mind. It may help you. I know that your primary purpose is not to make money, but it may help you make extra money that you can use for work with the Middle Eastern countries that really need this kind of help. And also it will bring so much useful power to those of us here in the West who need this. Thank you.
You're welcome, Terry. Thank you. And you know, I have a request that you guys do us a favor. Just talk about what we're doing, because we need to get the message out, and we need to hear from people. What do they want us to develop? What is what's they're interested in? So if we hear back from you, we get more encouraged to basically reach out more to you and develop more beautiful products for you. So thank you.
May I also ask, will this webinar be recorded and made available on the HIMSS website? It would be very useful if
It
it
is
could.
recorded. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
we can make it available up there.
Yeah, so when this video will be put up on hims-inc.com/webinars, and that's where you'll be able to find the recording.
Thank you.
Well, like I said, I think we'll call this the I can't speak. It's 2 a.m. This is what happens. We'll call this the official end to the presentation. Of course, this is our public space, so of course the room will remain open. Auda and Ali, you are welcome to stay or go as you wish. But we will call this the official end to the presentation. And thank you so much for being here and letting everyone know about these things. As I'm gratified that several people are going to get it right now. I knew that people would love this, and I'm really, really gratified that I turned out to be right about that. But as far as, you know, and everyone else, you know, again, thank you for coming to the presentation, and I will stop rambling now.
Thank you,
And Ali, thank you so much for this fabulous program and for coming and helping to share it today. This is Earl, by the way. I am about to, in about 20 minutes, go into another presentation for the vendor showcase, and I will kind of reiterate some of what was said here today about Netic and the development work that you're doing over there, and how we're kind of you're partnering with Salus and HIMSS on all of it during my presentation, during my part of the presentation. So
that's great. We appreciate that very much. You know, HIMSS have been a great partner for us, and we look forward to solidify that relationship. So
yeah.
So we appreciate you getting the word around.
I can't wait for the Facebook app.
We're working. Yep.
We'll make sure to have it as soon as possible. Just we are waiting Facebook to confirm for development some requirements, and as soon as we get the green light from Facebook, we are ready to go, and it will be very similar to MoTweet. We'll try to make it as simple as possible.
Yay.
Sounds good.
Netic, it's Mike Tyndall. I just want to say that I was, as you mentioned earlier, we did have your Netic note in the booth at CSUN. And, you know, a lot of the feedback, as you mentioned, was the height of the unit. But one of the things that I really liked about that Netic note that I just wanted to pass on to you is the keyboard that you used.
What about it? What the keyboard was there
like? I like it.
I
like it. It was very easy to type on. The keys were the right size.
You know, I just really liked the keyboard.
So keep that.
So keep that, yes.
So you guys, I'm going to sign off because I got to go get ready for this next presentation. But I wanted to let those of you who are going to be on duty now until what, the next hour and a half or so, and then the new people. The email blast I see did hit the members list, so you can hopefully expect some more traffic because of that.
Good.
But we will see. I guess I'll see you, Jenny, in a few hours. You're working with me this afternoon. Or
Oh, okay. Yeah. At 6 a.m. for me. Woohoo.
Get some sleep.
Take a nap.
Good night.
Hey, Earl.
Yo.
What other companies are supposed to be on that showcase with you this afternoon? Do you know?
No, the woman who sent it to me said, I have no idea when you're going to be and how long you're going to be. That she said that you have 15 other companies in there. So,
well, the whole thing isn't very long. It's like an hour and 15 minutes, I think, or something.
Yeah, so I think we each get our 5 minutes or something.
It's their typical vendor showcase. They usually,
very short.
They usually do it live, but they do it every year. It's just now virtual, of course.
Right.
I just found out about it yesterday. So.
Thank you.
Actually, I was just informed yesterday that this is what time it's going to be. So, all right, see you guys later.
Thanks, Earl.
Bye, Aaron.
Bye, Earl.
Okay. Thank you
I guess I had.
Go ahead.
Well, I have some questions. I guess I've never examined HIM's products before, and I just wanted to find a little bit out about your products. But if anybody else has questions, I want to give them a chance. But what's this Braille LQ? What does that do?
The Q Braille?
Yeah.
It's basically a hybrid between a QWERTY and a Braille keyboard. It's a Braille display. It's a 40-cell Braille display.
Okay.
It will connect to 5 devices. Six, 7. I have to think about this. Yes, 7. Well, 6 Bluetooth and 1 USB, so 7. But, you know, I don't think I would ever use 7 devices. I think the most I've ever used is 4. But anyway, but we had to outdo my boss kept saying spec up. So yes, we can connect to 7 devices at once. You can switch between them with a keystroke. You can, again, it's like I said, it's a 40-cell Braille display. It does have a few internal applications like a notepad and a daisy player, but the most interesting and unique characteristic is the hybrid keyboard. So basically what we did is we took out the letters and numbers from a QWERTY keyboard and inserted a Braille keyboard instead. So you can type in Braille and read in Braille, but you can do your command and operation with the typical QWERTY keys that you know. You have all the function keys, you have tab and caps lock and shift, you have the arrow keys, you have the 6-pack. And if you are doing, let's say that you're in Microsoft Word and you want to bold something, you actually use Control B. You use, of course, dots 1 and 2, that makes a B. So if you know Microsoft key commands or Windows key commands or Mac key commands, you can use those, but you can use them with a Braille keyboard. So you don't have to learn a lot of strange, different commands like you do on some other displays that have a Braille keyboard only. So that's the advantage.
Oh wow, and that can link up to my Android or my PC, Windows 10.
Yep, sure can.
Wow.
And both at the same time.
Okay, now if I was going to enter the raffle, because this is my first convention, how do I do that? Do I email someone and give them my credit card, or?
There's a website. You can actually do it directly online. If you go to our HIMSS website, I think it's hims-inc.com. Is it /ACB 2020? Someone want to clarify that for me? But yeah, you can do it directly from there.
Okay, and what's the Polaris?
The Polaris is actually, it's going to be like an Android tablet. That's actually what we were demoing. We just demoed one application, of course, but I have my Polaris. So if I go to the main menu,
File manager, F.
I'll just go through it really fast with you since you can't actually get your hands on it like we normally would if you were at the booth. This is the main function people always do is go through the main menu. So we have a file manager.
Word processor.
Processor.
N.
Notepad,
email,
exchange email,
media, M.
media. We have a media player, FM radio, and daisy player in there.
Organizer.
We have a day planner and an address manager in the organizer menu.
Web tools, B.
We have web tools that has a Google search and a web browser.
Extras, X.
We have extras.
Excel viewer, X.
We have an Excel viewer.
Online Daisy, O.
Online
Dictionary,
Daisy.
D.
And then we have an optional dictionary.
Extras, X. Programs,
We
R.
have, there's the MoTweet app.
Utilities, U.
We have utilities, which is like a scientific calculator, alarm, clock, things like that.
Okay.
And we have our settings. Now we do have, and then of course, so we have all these things that are basically a tablet for the blind, a note taker. But then we have access to the Google Play Store. So you can install Android apps. And it sounds like you are an Android user because you just mentioned using the QBraille with Android.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I have an LG 6 phone, so.
Oh, okay. Oh, really? How do you like that?
Well, it's okay. I know that the iPhones are more accessible, but I like Android. I got hooked onto it, so I'm sort of invested in that. What I like about it, though, is I kind of, the sound is clear on the Bluetooth headphones, because other tablets I had, it wasn't as clear. But your tablet sounds like it's a lot easier to use, because I know on my phone, it's just some stuff I can do and some stuff I can't.
Well, that's sort of the case with BrailleBack anyway. We do have a mobile screen reader that we've created. So what's really nice is that in Android apps, you do have first letter navigation. We are, it's one of those things. I actually do. I have a Pixel and a Galaxy as well because, working here, I test everything and I'm a gadget junkie, so I play with everything.
Yes.
So it is interesting. You're always going to find that there are some things that are nicer on a phone and some things that are nicer on a note taker. I really think that I'm a person, I use my iPhone, my note taker, and my laptop, all three pretty equally. I'm a very strong proponent of the tools in the toolbox, that everything's.
Oh, yes.
So, I think and especially if you do like Android, it's a little bit easier on you. Some people are a little intimidated by the Android aspect of it, but you might actually like Polaris because you're a little more familiar. But it does, having the first letter navigation and be able to jump to the top or bottom, things that are not actually in BrailleBack right now, they do make things a lot nicer to work with.
I don't use BrailleBack, but I know that if I ever had a Polaris, it would be, really come in handy. Because it'd be neat to have a Braille display. But how much is a Polaris?
The Polaris, we have a mini, and so we have a 20 cell and a 32 cell model. And I'm going to let one of the HimsInc salespeople jump in on that because I'm in Korea and I don't know for sure.
Come on, Jenny, you don't know the currency exchange? It's $57.95 for the Polaris, and it's $41.95 for the Polaris Mini.
And the QBraille?
And the
$41.95. You mean you're talking about
4,100?
No,
4,000.
Okay.
4,195.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and then the QBraille is $3,195.
Okay. Wow. Well, thank you. Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, thank you.
And thanks for your patience and sticking around. I'm so sorry that you popped in just before we gave the presentation. So appreciate that.
Yeah, because I didn't realize you're open all day until now.
Oh, no, that's okay. It seems like most people didn't. So that might explain why we haven't had a lot of traffic.
Yeah, that's why, because the way that the emails read was you had presentations, but it didn't say we're open all day. And Janet just sent one now that says that you guys are open all day. So I think you'll be getting more people now.
That's great.
So I guess I'll head off for now, but thank you. And I hope you have a fantastic day.
Yeah, we'll pop back if you have any other questions.
Okay, I sure will.
Well, I wanted to apologize because I think earlier when Tom unmuted everybody, I guess you go by Thomas, when you unmuted everybody and everything, I said something to my husband at the time and didn't realize that we were all unmuted. I thought we sort of still had to individually unmute ourselves before we talked. And then once I muted myself, it wouldn't let me unmute anymore. It said the host has, muted everyone and you cannot unmute yourself.
We're all learning.
We are.
I was really frustrated and it wouldn't let me raise my hand. And I called back in twice, and I said, the third time, I'm not muting myself anymore because then I'm stuck. I thought maybe you decided I was a bad person and weren't going to let me talk. And I heard Jenny saying, Shirley, don't you have any questions? And I couldn't talk.
I knew you did. I totally knew you did.
I did, but something wouldn't let me talk. And I thought, oh, Thomas is mad at me. Now he's muted me for good because I messed up.
I actually think it's different on the phones. Because I think a couple people did automatically unmute, and it doesn't do that on the PC or the Polaris or other devices, but I think on the phones it does that.
Yeah, well, it apparently did, and I apologize if I messed up your
That's okay. Don't
seminar.
You were
Not
fine.
a
It was
big deal.
funny because Shirley called me and she's like, "Can you help me?" And I said, "Well, call
I
back in."
did.
and
I was
I'll-
hoping you were going to answer your phone, which you did, so thank you. I
You're
appreciated
welcome.
that. I was so frustrated. I'm sitting here thinking, she's talking to me, and I can't say anything back.
That's a virtual convention for you.
Yep. We are totally all learning as you go. What do they say? Life's a dance, you learn as you go.
Sometimes you lose, sometimes you follow.
That's right. Sometimes you lead, not lose.
Sometimes
Come
you
on.
lead. That's lead.
Come
yeah.
on.
Don't worry about what you don't
Sometimes
know.
That's it.
Now, Jenny, what does this audio sound like? Is this, because I'm changing things around a bit, is this good or bad?
Your Mac is better.
My Mac is better.
Yep. But it's okay. It's not terrible, but your Mac is better.
All right. Speaker has changed. So you're saying that this is, yeah, I'm so, God.
Oh, wow, that is different. I never even would have realized it if there hadn't been a comparison.
No, but his voiceover yaks at us every time because he doesn't want to wear headphones. Mike.
Jenny,
oh, I don't blame him. I hate headphones. I understand that one completely.
He had headphones in.
What? You can see him? Oh, he's got video on.
Yeah.
Oh. See, that is one very nice advantage of this little Jenny book thing.
Can you hear me now?
We can. There's no camera in it, so I can't do video.
And Jenny, you're so clear. I mean, you just sound wonderful.
Oh, I'm actually using a dedicated nice microphone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's fancy.
I was playing today with my audio setup. I set up 3 different types and finally just settled on this, which it seems like it was a good choice.
So you like that Twitter app, huh?
Who are you speaking to?
Shirley.
Shirley.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were talking to me. I'm very, very interested in it because I miss it really badly from having it on the U2. I used it, all the time on the U2, and I haven't found anything, that I like since then.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to it.
It's almost better, and I didn't think that was possible because I loved the U2 app, but it's less cluttered even than that, which is...
I don't know that I'll ever like anything as well as that one. I was pretty comfortable with it, but I'm going to give it a good try, that's for sure. I'll get back to you guys sometime in the next couple of days and, see about getting that on this unit. And I don't know if it helps you guys with anything because I know that they were concerned whether there was a software thing with my unit. I have seen this loaner one reset about 4 times since I've had it. Nothing like my normal one does. And yesterday we had to actually pull the battery to get this one to come on. It came on with the hymns thing and just sat there.
We have seen that a little bit. We're actually trying to chase it down now. It's something that I can reproduce sometimes. So your unit was exceptional, though.
Oh, yes.
And we actually used it. Like I said, we used it to log everything, which was really good. So hopefully next week, Ki-hoon will be able to figure out what's going on with it. But yeah, I can see it enough that I'm able to, that's something that I'm also trying to do is send him logs so that we're able to fix it. That's actually one of the reasons for the patch being delayed because we are trying to fix this problem. So.
Okay. So is there new firmware coming out too, or is this patch going to be it for a little while when it comes out?
The patch will be it for a little while. I mean, we'll probably have other small releases like that.
Right.
But I don't know when the next one will be exactly.
Okay, I understand that.
We'll keep adding little tweaks and enhancements and stuff like that.
Right.
Yep.
Jenny, this is Andrea. I have a couple of quick questions, and they didn't necessarily have to do with the Twitter client, so I decided to come back because I didn't want to. I had my hand raised, but then I thought, you know what, I can ask this later because I wanted to make sure people got to ask what they wanted to ask. Oh shoot, my mind just went blank. I'm sorry. I'm sure that happens to you. By the way, great demo. Really impressed. That was, I mean, you went through all the things that somebody would want to know about that. Shoot, I'm going to mute myself for just a minute so I don't keep embarrassing myself. And give me just a second to come up with what I know. I know I had two really. Oh, I know. Sorry, I even had breakfast. I know, huh? Only one cup of coffee. I've only had one cup of coffee.
That explains it.
You mentioned earlier, and Shirley, I hear you back there.
I'm going to be gone in a minute.
Yeah. This is Andrea, by the way. We've spoken before.
I thought that's who you were when you said your name. I wasn't sure because your voice didn't sound quite the same. But
yep, it's me.
Okay.
Yeah. Jenny, I wanted to know, you mentioned webinars that you've had. Are those archived somewhere?
They are. And Thomas can tell you for sure, but I believe it is just hims-inc.com/webinars.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. That's great. That's great.
And you'll also be able to see any future ones that we do will be listed there too. So.
Okay. And I want to tell you guys, I have 2 U2 minis and I have a Braille Sense Polaris. So I am a HIMS. Yeah. I bought my first mini in 2014 and I went on a cruise in 2018 and left it on the ship. And well, I got it back. It took about 6 weeks, but I got it back. But in the meantime, I had found a used one and bought it because I was so terrified that they wouldn't get it back to me that I bought another one. So I've hung on to both of them.
Sure.
I do. I actually loaned one of mine out. I had a friend who was waiting for another product to be released. So one of mine is actually not with me right at the moment, but I'm about to get it back. But my older one, which is still working fine, I've had the motherboard replaced. I've had the Braille display replaced. I still love the Mini. I think it's wonderful. And even though
I just bought a used one from somebody, actually.
It's a great product. And I know there's some things that don't work so well anymore, but the stuff that it still does, I mean, I use it for my newspaper, for the convention newspaper every day. I keep schedules on it. I have a student right now who's using it as a Braille display with his iPhone to do homework for college because he doesn't have a computer. We're working on trying to get him a computer. But for the moment, he's using Pages with the iPhone and using his U2. He has the full-size U2. Well, that was what your tech support guy, Chris, recommended because he didn't have a computer, and because the U2 wouldn't access his school's website because it uses the IE protocols.
Yeah.
We couldn't get him on the school's website. So Chris, who's great, by the way, said, why don't you, because this guy's really good with his iPhone. He said, why don't you try connecting the Braille display? And then if he can do some of his work in Pages, at least for now, and it seems to be working. So
that's great.
I'm really glad that, so I'm glad that worked for him. So
yep, and they still have the Bookshare search and download. I love the Bookshare search and download.
I do too. Yeah, it works, and Bard works now. I was having a little trouble with Bard, but I got that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, Bard works now, so that's great, and that's super
I love
cool.
the Bookshare app. Love it.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I'd love to see something like that on the Polaris. Although I can go to the Bookshare website, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, that's the problem. And there's Go Read, which is a little bit easier than the website even, but
Go Read's not bad.
Yeah, but if you want BRF books, I don't.
Oh.
You know.
Yes, you're right. You do have to go to the website for that.
Yeah.
You know what I do? I cheat. I download them on my mini, and then I just I put them on a card and transfer them over.
Yeah.
I just
Well,
do it that way.
sometimes I'll download them on the U2 and then go to history on my other one, or
Yep, you can
you
do
know,
that. Shirley,
go
the
back
other
the other
thing,
way. But it's really not hard to go to the website and do it, as particularly if you go to the My Bookshare page.
Yeah.
Shirley, the other thing you can do is you can open those books in Daisy and read them in Braille. I've done that too.
Do they read as well that way? Is it as smooth?
It's a little clunky, but it works. I had a friend show me how to do that.
I'll probably just stick to the one I've been doing then.
Yeah.
Actually, I have another option for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can, if you download the Daisy books, you can open the XML in the YouTube. It should open in the word processor or the web browser. But either way, you can just scroll the Braille then. Then it's easier. It's not that you don't have to use the Daisy player.
Okay.
So that's another option.
Because using the Daisy player is a little clunky. It works, but I find I have to use the find a lot because I lose my place. It doesn't always keep your spot. That's what I have found, that it doesn't.
There's actually a special way that you can exit where it'll enter a bookmark. If you go into the file menu, I don't remember the specific command right now, but if you go into the file menu, there is actually a specific command that says exit with mark or something like that. So try that.
I'll remember that. Thank you.
I'm going to interrupt for 1 second. I just want to say goodbye. I'll catch you guys a little later. I've got a couple more questions for you, but I want to go attend another thing. So I'll let you continue with Andrea. Thanks a lot, guys.
All good.
Bye.
We'll see you later.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Hey, Thomas.
Yes.
I do have one thing for you real quick.
Yeah.
Since you're still there. Do you have any idea how much an extra battery would be for the U2 Mini?
U2 Mini?
I just bought a used one from somebody.
Yeah, let me look it up for you real quick. How do I...